The Bridge of Choices. There was a small village which was located at the base of a great mountain. At the end of the village stood a beautiful stone bridge which was known as the Bridge of Choices. The bridge connected the village to the road that led to the city. It was said that anyone who crossed the bridge would face a choice that would shape the rest of their life. The legend surrounding the bridge was clear. Each traveler who will cross the bridge will be given two paths, one that promised comfort and security, and another that offered uncertainty but potential for a great reward. The path chosen will determine the traveler's destiny, but no one could ever walk both the paths. Some of the villagers believed that the bridge was magical, and the others thought it was just a story. But everyone agreed that the bridge has a great importance. There was a young man in that village whose name was Peter. Peter was tired of the life he was living. He had worked in the farm for years but never found it fulfilling. He wanted more from life. He always craved for adventure, excitement, and a chance to see the world. He always dreamt of leaving the village to pursue his dreams. One day he finally decided to leave. He had heard about the Bridge of Choices and knew that his destiny awaited him on the other side of the bridge. He could already picture the kind of life he wanted, traveling to faraway lands, experiencing new cultures, and never looking back. But as he stood before the bridge, something stopped him. He had heard the warnings about the choices one had to make, and he suddenly became doubtful. Peter, an old man's voice came from behind. It was an elderly man from the village who was very wise. He asked Peter, "Are you ready for this?" Peter said, "I have to do this. I cannot stay here forever. There is something more out there for me." The elderly person nodded and said, "The bridge does not give you what you expect, but what you need. It does not give you a choice between the good and the bad, but between the known and the unknown. Sometimes your safety lies in the things that we leave behind." He said, "I want to take a chance." Peter looked back at the village and saw the farms, the paths, and the faces that he grew up with. But he did not want to stay in the safety of the known. He wanted to be brave. And so he decided to continue his journey of crossing the bridge. Finally, Peter crossed the bridge, and as he stepped onto the other side, he saw two paths before him. One was a wide, well trodden road lined up with villages and marketplaces where life seemed stable and predictable. The other one was a narrow and winding trail that led deep into the unknown wilderness filled with dense forests and mountains. Peter hesitated. The safe path promised security. He could find work, settle in a town, and build a stable life. The uncertain path, however, promised adventure but also danger and hardships. He had to make a choice. Peter thought for a while and finally decided to take the narrow path that led to the wilderness. He was determined to follow his dreams no matter the cost. But as he walked deeper into the forest, he encountered the challenges that he could never imagine. The journey inside the jungle was extremely scary. He had to face really harsh weather conditions too. The nights were long and lonely. At times, Peter wanted to return back, but he kept forcing himself to move forward, hoping to discover something greater. As time passed, Peter found himself in places that he never imagined. He could survive the harshest of conditions, He was climbing difficult mountains that were filled with snow and had slippery slopes. He was able to face wildest of animals and he could cross the deserts alone. And through these experiences, he learned that the journey was not just about finding new lands but about discovering himself. He faced his fears, he made mistakes, but he grew stronger and stronger with every challenge. At the end, he understood that the choice he made at the bridge was not about choosing comfort or hardship. It was about choosing the path that would help him live fully even in the face of uncertainty. One day, Peter stood at the top of the mountain looking at the horizon and he smiled. He had no regrets. The road that he had chosen had brought him everything that he had ever wanted. Not in the form he expected, but by shaping him into someone who is completely unrecognizable from the person who started from the village. He was a completely content and a much stronger person now. The moral of the story is life is full of choices that seem difficult at the time, but most important choices are those that push us out of our comfort zones into the unknown. And the journey that we take after making the choice, with all its challenges and rewards, is what truly shapes us.